What is going on, guys? Welcome to Gump's podcast. I don't know what episode we're on. Omega lol. We're pretty deep in. I'm pretty sure this is episode 14, maybe episode 15. Who knows? But if you guys are new to the channel, I do not live stream podcasts or anything like that. If it's not gaming, I usually don't live stream it. Who am I kidding? Usually, I never live stream. So this is completely new to me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of nervous because I'm afraid I'm gonna fuck something up eventually. So bear with me if I fuck up. Just calm down, please. Seriously, because I'm a nervous wreck. I'm like sitting here thinking like, oh my god, I'm gonna sit here, push a wrong button or something, and then like my computer's gonna crash and burn. But hey, if you're watching live, make sure you hit the like button and share the video. Let people know, because at the end of the video, I would like to have, live questions and whatnot. But anyway, let's get down to the video. So we're going to start off with the topic at hand. Black Panther. Now, Black Panther was nominated for the best award you can get at the Oscars. It was nominated for Best Picture. And yeah, it's insane to think that a comic book movie was nominated for Best Picture. I have conflicting thoughts on this because if you guys know me, I have some emotions. Who am I kidding? I didn't like the movie. I personally didn't like the movie. I know I'm the minority. But I gave my review, so I'm not going to sit here and bash on this. So, to me, I'm happy for the comic book genre that we are moving past the whole comic book movies can't be good. That's great. But the question at hand is, why Black Panther out of all the movies we've gotten in the past 10 years? Oh, yo, what's up, Nerd Crew? What's up, Andy, baby boy? So, yeah, getting back to the topic at hand. You got films like The Dark Knight. You got films like Logan. Not even considered. But they got, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, and all Best Screenplay. I'm pretty sure Logan got nominated for. You can quote me. I don't know. I'm not too sure at the moment. But I know Logan got some Oscars. And that doesn't get Best Picture. This movie doesn't get any other major nominations for the Oscars. Not Best Supporting Actor, not Best Actor, not Best Supporting Actress or Best Actress, or like Best Screenplay, Best Director. It doesn't get any of that. But for some reason it gets Best Picture. Now let me for people who are massive fans of Black Panther, I'm not sitting here shitting on this idea saying like, hey, it should have never been nominated. I would have preferred it not been nominated. What I'm just trying to say is, logistically speaking, it does not make sense why it got nominated. Like, you can disagree with me all you want. You can. But my emotions are coming from this. Most, 90% of Best Picture noms, and all winners, the majority of them all have Best something else, like Best Actor, all the other subgenres that are like the top 10 awards you could possibly get for a movie. This doesn't have any of them. So that makes you ask the question, why did it get Best Picture nomination? If it doesn't have the Best Actor, doesn't have the Best Actress, Best Supporting Cast, Best anything, when you really think about it, other than some of the music, because the music in this movie was incredible. I tend to not like the movie. When I talk about it, I tend to hate on it a little bit. But I love the music, and they got nominated for that. But everything else they didn't get nominated for. So what makes this movie different from something like Logan from last year? I personally don't understand. But like I said, that's my pessimistic side. My optimistic side is saying that, listen, maybe this was just a stepping stone for the comic book genre. Maybe this is just them saying, okay, we can take these movies seriously now, and they totally scrapped that entire garbage idea about, hey, we're going to have, we're going to totally have the best popular film, which was the dumbest idea that they ever said. Like, I can't believe that was even the talks. After the internet shit on them, they brought it, they're like, we're done, we're not doing it, and they bring it back. I don't know why, but they brought the idea back, say, hey, So this tells me that hopefully that's out the window. They're like, okay, we could take these movies seriously now. But just at the end of the day, I personally don't believe that this deserves it. A lot of the CGI was pretty poor. Some of the lighting was pretty poor. The screenplay was decent. The acting was good, but nothing spectacular. But let's look at some of these other films really quick. We have A Star Was Born, Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Favorite, Green Book, Roma, and Vice. So I haven't seen any of them because I didn't get to see many movies this year. But you could tell this year was kind of a sketchy year for movies. I look back and say, wow, this year was great. But when you really think about it and you pinpoint the other movies, you kind of see like they weren't really that good. And it's kind of tough. I heard a lot of good things about Roma. Bohemian Rhapsody, I heard some people really loved it, but the majority of them were like, eh. Black Klansman, I want to see. And A Star Is Born, I want to see because I heard nothing but good things about them. But if I had to pick something that's going to actually win, it's going to be probably Roma because I heard a lot more good things about that movie. But yeah, even though it got nominated, and I disagree with that, it has no shot of winning Best Picture. And if it wins Best Picture, you can color me shocked. And but yeah, hey, the good news is let's get a little spicy really quick. A couple years back, I got a lot of hate on my channel for this. My channel's 4 years old, so for some of you, like Webhead who's in chat, what's up, my dude? Back in the day, I responded to the Oscars getting shit on for being racist, for not nominating any black movies, like anyone with a black lead or anything like that. I said, maybe it's just because, you know, there was not a movie that deserved it that had a black lead. People will point to the Straight Outta Compton. I'm like, well, that 2015 was a great year for movies. I said something, got a lot of shit on it, so I'm gonna keep this to a bare minimum. Who know? Like I'm saying, just like right now, they are going places because like now they got Black Klansman. I think Green Book has a black lead, if I'm not mistaken. So Black Klansman, you got the Green Book. So yeah, so it looks like they have a lot more diversity in these awards. I just hope they don't pick these movies because of minorities and stuff like that. So I'm gonna leave it at that, guys. And yeah, let's go to the next subject at hand. If I could find a thingy-majiggy, there we go. So next, oh my god, this devastated me, guys. I'm not gonna lie, this was kind of tough. So yeah, if you guys have not been hearing the news recently, there's been some people writing down some reactions to The Dark Phoenix, the last X-Men movie we're going to get from Fox. And they are awful. Now, listen, a lot of test screenings are usually complete crap. Usually. Because BVS got a lot of positive feedback out of it. And I despise that movie with a burning passion. I do. I'm sorry if you disagree, you could disagree. That's what the point of filmmaking is. And not filmmaking, film lovers. That's the point of us. We're going to disagree. You don't always have to agree with me. But that being said, there was more to the story. So there were some people that I watch that are connected into the industry and that have other connections that are more connected than he is. And he knows some people. His name's John Campia. He's a YouTuber. You can check him out, whatever. But get back. John Campia stated that he knew somebody that was directly connected to this movie. The guy doesn't lie for content, and I know this because I've been following that guy for 4 years. He said that the guy that was working on this was, he said the movie is a complete disaster. And a couple of his other buddies were saying the same thing, that all my connections were saying that the movie's a complete disaster. Now, you could take that with a grain of salt. You could still go into the movie with high expectations or low expectations, what you will with the information I'm presenting. But I am going to believe that this movie is trash. I didn't hate the first trailer. I didn't love it either. I was just like, oh, it was pretty good. Pretty spicy. And, yeah, it's one big red flag I had with this movie was the fact that you hired a first-time director for this movie. Now, some people will say, if you know about the situation, that he wrote and produced basically all of the other X-Men movies, so he's clearly a right choice. Now, let me tell you something. People who are saying that are not filmmakers themselves. So the point of directing is get the best acting out of your directors. You have to do so much shit behind the scenes. You got to make sure the edit's the way you want it, to make sure everything's aligned to your vision. You decide what stays and what goes. Not the editors. That's the director's decision. And they make all the shots. They call all the shots. Producers don't. They're just like, oh, that's what you did? I'm a fan of it. Keep it. Or I don't like it. Change it. They don't actually change anything. So hiring a first-time director on a movie that is visually heavy like this movie and has so much characters in it, it's mind fuck to me why you would do that. The guy hasn't even directed a short film, and that's crazy to me. Like, you're gonna hire a guy that hasn't even created a short film. That means technically I'm more experienced in directing than he is. Not saying I would do a better job than him, because fuck, I don't know how the industry works. I mean, I see it from a perspective. I've done things on a smaller scale. But the thing is, even though he's watched it, he still doesn't know what the hell he's doing as a director. So, at the end of the day, I had little to no expectations for this movie. And plus, we kind of got the story before in X-Men 3. I was hoping it would have been a good turnaround for the X-Men, and it would have been a good final hurrah. Apparently not. And we got a comment from the webhead. He says, wow, Fox will go out with a bang, a trashy bang. Yeah, it really sucks, though, because this is going to be the last true X-Men movie we get. I'm really excited to see Avengers and X-Men eventually crossing over. But we're never going to get X-Men movies like we've been, because the MCU, as much as I love it to death, you could tell they are all connected in some way. Even though they have, like, you have your Winter Soldier with a spy thriller, and then you have Captain America 1, the first Avenger, as a war film, and then Infinity War as an event, action-packed, non-stop ride. There's different genres involved, yes, but in a way, there's still a certain flavor to the MCU, a certain formula that they have that you could kind of tell at the end of the day, unless you get someone completely, different. But I'm afraid that the X-Men's going to fall into that very similar backstory and like this very similar formula. Another thing I'm afraid of is that we're not going to be getting as many superhero films a year, because DC's now taking their sweet ass time with one movie a year. The MCU's, now pouring out 3 movies a year. I think that's going to slow down after this year. I don't know what they're releasing next year. I kind of forget. But anyway, so now the X-Men is out. X-Force is out. Now we're getting Deadpool 3. Now, X-Men, we're not going to see another X-Men movie for another 5-6 years at best. So our superhero craving is going to be kind of at an all-time high the next 5 years. That's my theory, because 3 years from the MCU, 3 films a year for the MCU, and 1 film from DC. So that's 4 movies a year. That's still pretty good, but I'm just saying, like, compared to what we've been getting the past couple of years, it's different. It's different than what we are used to getting. But I'm interested to see what's going to happen with when X-Men goes to the MCU. But it's kind of tragic that it's ending on this kind of a note. Yeah, whatever. But let's hope that these are people that are just being a little spicy, trying to get that, attention, like getting me talking about it and getting everybody else talking about it. Let's just hope it's that. Please, for the love of God, make it that, because if it's not, I'm gonna cry, not gonna lie. But yeah, let's get to the next topic at hand. And that is, some of you might know this character, some of you may not. This is the dude, and he is from one of my favorite comedies of all time. Definitely not top 3, probably top 5, maybe top 10. So it's definitely in that area. Jeff Bridges, probably his most iconic role. I think this came out in 98, 97, definitely around there. And it's about it's a stoner comedy, basically about a dude who wants his rug back. And it's hilarious. And ever since it kind of got its cult following, like a couple years back, people have been wanting a sequel. No one has really said anything. Now, you see on the left, that's from the movie. From the right, that's Jeff Bridges today. Now, that is from his Twitter. Jeff Bridges just had him walk, just as the dude walked into the camera, looked over, laughed, and walks away, and numbers appear. And that's the same day as the Super Bowl. Now people are theorizing that it's a trailer for The Big Lebowski 2. I don't think so. I would hope so, but I don't think so. I think they're using the dude as a commercial piece for something. Because I think we would have heard something by now. I mean, there's been times where, like, movies snuck up on us. It's happened in the past, so I'm not going to act like it's a definite no that Big Lebowski 2 is going to happen. But I just think he's playing as the character one last time for a commercial, saying, let the past go, guys. Listen, I had my fun. Everything doesn't need a sequel. Let's not bring it back, because guess what? The second that we bring it back, you guys are going to complain, kick and scream, saying it's not like the original, and why are you guys always rebooting or doing sequels from like the 80s and 90s? Like, it's going to happen if it is a sequel, but and if it's not a sequel, people are going to kick, scream, cry, and complain. So no matter what, they're not going to win, but it's always going to be nice to see him come back. I think it's just going to be him coming back for a commercial. So, what are they advertising? I don't know. Weed is legal now, so for the most part, so maybe it's that. Who knows? They said that they were trying to get a weed ad in the Super Bowl and they couldn't get it in. So maybe they discussed something. Who knows? I don't know. I mean, it would be pretty funny if it was weed. I'm not gonna lie. I would crack the F up if it was pot. But who knows what it could be? It could be a car commercial, for God's sakes. It could be a fucking Doritos commercial. I don't care. I'm seeing the dude one last time. Hopefully not the one last time. Like I said, I want a sequel, but I also don't. Doesn't matter. That's it for this topic at hand. Let's see, we got another comment. 2020 Black Widow and the Eternals, as far as I know, and I heard rumors that BW will be rated R. BW. Forgive me. I don't know what BW is. I probably know it, and it's just over my head right now at the moment. But is Black Widow coming out 2020? I don't even think they have an official script yet. I don't even think that's possible. Yet again, I'm still skeptical on the whole Black Widow movie. I prefer that as a series at hand. That's just me. Oh, Black Widow will be rated R. It will not be rated R, you bot. What do you mean? It's not going to be rated R. What do you mean, dude? What the hell, man? Black Widow rated R and the MCU owned by Disney? Okay, that's not going to be their first rated. If they ever did a rated R movie, it's not going to start off with Black Widow. No offense. You can do a hard PG-13, but like, let's be honest, dude. They don't need a rated R Black Widow movie. At the end of the day, if you're going to make a risk, ask, is it necessary? With Deadpool, it was necessary because at the end of the day, Deadpool will always be a rated R character. Black Widow is a PG-13 character, so no, I don't buy that. Also, 2020, I feel like that's too soon. I feel like 2021 is going to be, if they are really moving full speed ahead, I feel like 2021 would be safe because, like, it seems like they just pulled this out of their ass. This is the first time that Marvel's really kind of reacted, if you know what I mean. The people bitched, cried, screamed about getting a Black Widow movie. I personally don't understand why. She makes great for a supporting character like the Hulk. That's a whole different topic for a whole different show. But let's get into the final topic today, and then we'll get some live questions from the chat, guys, which I'm really excited about because I usually don't live stream questionnaires and shit like that. So make sure you think of a question, and then we'll get into it. Yes. Now, you might be thinking, Kyle, why is there a 24 Jump Street image on the screen? Well, I'm going to tell you what. Phil Lord, one of the directors of the first two 21 Jump Street movies, the director of the Lego movie, and the director of Solo. He didn't get I don't think he got credit at the end of the day, but they shot like 90% of the movie. Whatever, throw that to the side. He was recently asked in an interview about 23 Jump Street. And he's like, no, we're going to be filming 24 Jump Street. And it's going to be playing off of a joke, saying that basically they're like, oh, look, 23 Jump Street, the church. And they're like, nah, dumb buck. You got to go to 24 Jump Street. They're like, what? But the whole thing with 21, 22. And like, so that's going to be a joke. I think it's hysterical. And they said that it's going to open up a gate to like all new jokes, and it's going to keep the movies fresh. And they said they are going to do 23 Jump Street. 24 Jump Street is going to kind of lead into 23. It's going to be really funny to see how this works out. But nothing's confirmed. He said it in an interview. Things are said in interviews all the time, and sometimes don't even happen. Usually they do, but sometimes they don't. So this could literally go anywhere. But the fact that the director is talking about doing a third one is insane to me. I'm really happy because I was devastated when they announced that the Men in Black 23, or MIB 23, which the title was going to be called, was canceled for obvious reasons, because not because of the hit they got on the internet. It's because there was too many legal obstacles they had to go over, like who's going to get what distributing rights, blah, 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 blah. It got too complicated, so they had to can it, and it would have been way too expensive and whatnot. Sucks, because I was one of the only people in the entire world that said that would have been a hysterical idea. Hysterical. So, after that was canned, I heard nothing, and I got sad because I'm like, oh no, we're not going to get a 23 Jump Street. And now we're getting this. I'm excited as shit. I hope they end off on 23 Jump Street, which will be the fourth film in the series. And because unless they do something insane, they introduce aliens or something like they're able to cross over with someone. Like I feel like after 24 Jump Street, 23 Jump Street's got to be so balls to the wall insane. But if you got an avenue that says like, hey, there's like at least 3 more movies down here, go take that road, brother. Like, the movies are funny. They never failed. They've always cracked me up. The first one was hilarious. I was so pessimistic about the second one. Second one made me laugh probably even harder. Now this, I am not gonna have any doubt in my mind that this is gonna be at least good. At least good. I'm still gonna temper my expectations when I go into the theater. You gotta leave your baggage behind if it be good or bad, because it's gonna really affect your opinion on a movie. I'm really excited. Yeah, we're getting 2, at least from this interview, we're getting 2 more 21 Jump Street movies. Like I said, 24 Jump Street seems like it's going to be a really fun ride. I just hope 23 Jump Street goes so balls to the wall insane that shit hits the fan quickly. Okay, guys, that will do it. So, I would like to see any comments you guys got. Oh, God, that's not what I wanted up. Why is that up? There we go, baby boy. So, do you guys have any questions? The stream is kind of behind, so I'll give it like a good 10, maybe 15 seconds. And if I don't get any questions, I'll call the show right then and there. But yeah, guys, this was a lot of fun doing live. To see some people commenting in the chat and stuff like that. It's always a blast to interact with you guys more, and I'm not distracted by Fortnite or anything like that. But let me know what you guys think of doing live streams. I'm probably going to do a lot more. I can't do a camera right now because I don't have the extension to it. I was going to use camera, but I couldn't. The main reason why I don't use cameras in my pre-recorded podcast is because for some reason my camera stops recording at 30 minutes. And people say, no, at 30 minutes it like kind of caps off and then starts a new recording. Nah, it just stops recording and it like just halts. So it would have been really, really weird to do that. But at least with live streaming, it's not actually going into the SD card. It's going straight to the computer, straight to YouTube and whatnot. Okay, we got our first question. Why didn't Avengers get nominated? LOL. I have some thoughts. Not going to say every single one of them because I'll spark certain controversies. But what I will say is because for Best Picture alone, because it's not worthy. and I'll tell you why. I loved Avengers Infinity War. But when you look at it as a critic, and I mean like me, like a critic, and you take the nerdiness aside and take the 10-year hype aside, and you just look at it as a movie as a whole, and you digest the story, and you digest everything else as if it was a standalone movie. It's just a movie with flashy action sequences that are referencing things that have been happening for the past 10 years and stuff like that. I'm not saying it's a bad movie without that 10-year hype and whatnot. I am not saying that. What I'm saying is there is a lacking story there. There is a lacking story there because it's just an event film. And at the end of the day, that's all it really was designed to be, an event film. And because when you really look at the movie, you could describe the movie in one sentence, which is not always bad, but like it literally is every single subplot. Basically, Thanos is getting the gauntlet, stop him. There you go. It's like that's the 2.5-hour movie that we saw. But still, insane movie. But it's just something that the critics wouldn't pick because of the consistent story and stuff like that. So that is why it probably didn't get nominated. Spider-Verse should have been nominated. Agreed. Now, I'll tell you why that it hasn't been nominated. Because several years ago, in the land of time where there wasn't a Best Animated Feature nomination, it was just Best Picture and blah, 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 blah. Beauty and the Beast comes out, gets nominated for Best Picture. I forget if it wins or not. Forgive me. But the critics were in awe. They're like, what? This isn't an artsy movie. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Pretentious cocks, most of them. Whatever. So they ended up creating a subgenre of Best Animated Feature. And it kind of destroyed most, kind of worth to the Oscars, because like Toy Story, that trilogy should have been nominated for Best Picture, but guess what? Because they have the Best Animated Feature, they didn't have to worry about adding that to the Best Picture nominations. They just put that in the animated. Put that in the animated. You don't have to put it in the Best Feature film. You can just put that in animated. Whatever. Let's pat them on the head and give them that Oscar, and let the pretentious movies get nominated. And that's my biggest problem with the Oscars, because a lot of these Oscar-nominated movies are usually 9 times out of 10 very pretentious, involves someone being a cancer survivor, someone who wants to kill themselves, dealing with racism. It's usually that. That is Oscar bait. If it involves any of that shit, if it's got to be rip you to your core. It's got to be a drama, whatever. That's why I'm surprised that Black Panther even got nominated. But whatever, beside the point. That's Oscar bait. So they didn't want their animated movies in there. And that's why that Spider-Man didn't get nominated. Because they're like, hey, it's a great movie. Easily the best movie of the year, in my opinion. But guess what? It's got a Best Animated Feature. So let's put it over there. Let's fuck Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, because we want our pretentious movies. Not saying that these movies this year are pretentious, because I know jack jiggly shit about them. And the only one I really know about is Green Book. I'm familiar. I still don't know that much about it. I know Black Klansman. I've been wanting to watch that since I saw the trailer, but I just didn't get time to watch it. But yeah, that's why I didn't get nominated. Honestly, dude, couldn't think of a question, so I'm like the Avengers, but understand what you mean as standalone. What do you think of the animation for Spider-Verse? It's unique, man. It definitely is. At first, I will say it was jarring to me. It was jarring to me. It took me a while to get used to it. After the second trailer came out, I instantly fell in love with it, and I was afraid it would have gotten distracting in a feature film, but it didn't. Like the Lego Movie. Think of it like the Lego Movie. The Lego Movie is not stop motion. It is 3D animated. They just designed it to make it look stop motion, which is very clever, and I love that. Similar to this, it looks like it's comic pages being flicked around at a super fast pace to make it looks amazing. It literally looks like a comic page brought to life. and I loved it. And they were allowed to go balls to the wall, and it's amazing. I loved it. And I was surprised that it didn't get distracting. I was just immersed. I was not like, wow, look at the animation, or wow, look at the dots. It looks like a literal comic book page. So bravo to them. They took a massive risk on that. They took an insane risk, and it paid off. Like, it's insane how much they risked, and it paid off. Like, I was afraid we were never going to get Goblin, the true Green Goblin look. I mean, in Spider-Man 1, I understand why. I mean, first off, it was early 2000s. You didn't have the technology at the time to make a faithful Green Goblin design. And plus, why would you? That's a massive risk on its own. It's a lot of money to design him in a live action and whatnot. But, I mean, that's, at least to me, that was the original Green Goblin. That to me, that's what Green Goblin looks like. I know there's Green Goblins that have, like, there's literally a billion Green Goblins out there. It's kind of annoying how many Green Goblins are out there. How many Goblins? There's Hobgoblin, there's Green Goblin, there's regular Goblin. There's so many of them. It's pretentious and annoying, but whatever. Let's see. We got another question from Nerd Crew. Do you think they will end up killing Thanos at the end of Endgame? That's an incredible question. Let me take a sip of water for this one. Do I think that they will kill him at the end of Infinity War, Endgame? I see this going two ways. If they introduce something super nerdy, I forget the name, so forgive me. There's like a intergalactic force. Galactus is part of it, and what's his face from Guardians? Adam Warlock, he's part of it. There's an entire council, if you will. I'm forgetting the name. I'm such a bot. I'm so sad. But yes. Oh, hold up, my computer's freaking out right now. Okay, there we go. Do I think that we're gonna kill him? If they introduce that, I think he will be alive, but they will imprison him and keep him on the back burner just in case. But what do I think is more likely? I think they're probably gonna kill him. Which upsets me because I do not like it when they keep on killing their greatest villains and stuff like that. I think they're more likely to kill him just because of what he's done and stuff like that. So they're like, okay, we got to end him right here, right now. But, okay, if I'm going to do a percentage on is he alive and is he dead, I put a solid 75% chance that he dies and a 25% chance that he lives. The 25% is if they use Adam Warlock and that entire council, whatnot, with intergalactic beings, and they arrest him and they imprison him and basically putting him in his own personal hell. I would love to see that way more, but I would see why they would want to kill him. Next comment. Do you know? Do you know about the whole Apple buying Sony thing? Would you be okay with them buying Sony, so Spider-Man and supporting characters return to Marvel 100%? I did hear about this. Now I will kind of gladly to inform you. The reports are not 100% true. All that stuff I've heard are not 100% true. There is talks, but it was literally brought up in a small blog to my knowledge. This was like weeks ago that I heard about this. But I know that it was not official. Nothing was set in stone. No one said Apple was buying Sony. I think Apple had an interest, but actually, let me look this up really quick. Hopefully this doesn't fuck over my my streaming. Okay, let's do this really quick for the stream. Apple. First thing that comes up is John Campea. So yeah. Let's see. I don't see. Yeah. Now, as of right now, from what I'm seeing, it was just a rumor. There was nothing confirmed, set in stone, or anything like that. I don't think it's going to happen. Now, if it were to happen, that would literally destroy the entire contract and deal that they have, that Marvel has with Sony. And that would probably revert Spider-Man back, and we would be getting another reboot in the next 10 years. Which I would be pretty pissed off about, but I am happy to say, well, with confidence, I will say that nothing is happening. Honestly, man, news sources suck. I'm glad that I'm not the only one that doesn't believe. Yeah, I have my sources. There's a lot of news sources out there. It kind of sucks. There's a lot of news sources out there that will say anything to get clickbait. Like literally recently, I forget what the story was, but a Twitter user with the same amount of followers as I have said something along the lines of like, hey, I heard this and whatnot. I forget what it was. Shit, I am drawing a blank today. Yet again, that was like a week or two ago. And then literally these news sources start running the story like it was confirmed. The guy has 200 plus followers on Twitter. That's less than me. He's got probably like 230, 250 subs on his podcast. So basically, he is a small YouTuber and a small podcaster. And these big sources start running it like it's confirmed. Screen Rant, which was one of the places I would listen to all the time with news because they used to be really good. They ran the story. They were like, hey, reports are saying this and this and this. Some people were like, well, at least they said rumors. Doesn't fucking matter. The source of the story came from a guy that had 200 followers on Twitter. The guy might be true. The guy might have said the truth. But guess what? They attracted so much attention to the poor guy, and a lot of people don't believe the story. It started attacking that guy because news sources are so inclined to get attention, run the scoop, wherever it be. Doesn't matter. Kind of sucks. But that's why I don't trust most news sources anymore because a lot of them are very scummy. I'm happy to have my sources. And if you want to hear my sources, contact me on Twitter, Gumps_videos. Make sure you do that. But yeah, it's hard to believe most news sources anymore, especially with the clickbait shit we've been getting recently. It used to be bad, then it started getting good again, and then it started getting bad again. But yeah, it's whatever. It's tough. It sucks. Just hit me up on Twitter if you want to talk more about it. I think we're going to call the show right there, guys. I had a lot of fun with the stream. Thank you guys so much for joining. It means the world to me. I am glad that this was successful. We had probably around 4 people on average joining, which is okay for a start. I'm hoping next stream we'll get a little bit more people here and there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I have a Twitter and Instagram, Gumps_videos. Make sure you go follow me there for latest news updates on my channel. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe and all that crap. Later and goodbye.